Welcome once again to another awesome episode of the FLAMA podcast, the ultimate guide to the gaming industry. I am your host. My name is Ángel, and today we have a very interesting guest. Usually, we have game designers, we have game artists, game programmers, someone who's directly involved in the creation of a game. But today, we have a very unique, in the best sense of the word, a very unique mentor that uses games for marketing. And he says games are the future of marketing. Melvin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Really excited for this.
All right, Melvin. So you're a very interesting mentor. As I mentioned before, you use games for marketing, for brand awareness. Where did that started?
Yeah, so let me take you back a couple of years. So over 6 years ago, actually, was when I sort of got into the community of Minecraft as a way to build creations and do things for different sort of clients and doing paid work. But it all really started when I played a lot of Minecraft myself. But I then started to do some builds for some of the servers that I was working on with the friends and stuff like that. But then I sort of built a reputation within the Swedish community that I was in, that people wanted to have my builds. They wanted my services to do different spawns and different maps for their servers. But then came one person who asked me to do a build for him, but then he asked, how much would you like to be paid? And I was like, are you going to pay me? Really? So I said, yeah, like $5. Does that sound good? And he was, oh, that's really cheap, but yeah, let's do it. But that was really the start for me when I realized that I can actually make money and get paid for the builds that I created and spent a lot of time on. And that made me realize and do some research on the different communities, with offering my services on different freelancing platforms and creating my profile on different forums and stuff like that. But that quickly also grew into, I essentially reached a cap where I wasn't able to fulfill all of the requests I was getting. I was getting way too many commission requests from different server owners and stuff like that. So I had to bring on other freelancers to fulfill the builds and stuff like that to help me do them. And that became the start of the platform that I created over 6.5 years ago in 2018. And at that time I was just 14, but that was what later became the company that I run today. So that platform essentially connected freelancers and server owners or other types of clients that need their services within Minecraft. And we quickly became, or rather not quickly, but over time, we became the go-to platform for all things related to Minecraft. So we started to offer designs, builds, development, websites for Minecraft servers, anything that you would ever need within Minecraft, we provided and had freelancers. So we grew that platform to over 500 freelancers at the peak.
Wow.
So we mostly at the start we worked with a lot of servers, but then in 2019 we also started to work with some YouTubers, and that the reputation within the YouTube community also grew. So we started to work with bigger and bigger clients and have worked with some of the biggest names like Mr. Beast, Sideman, Laserbeam, and the top names within the Minecraft YouTube community. But that platform I actually sold last year to pursue working with brands exclusively, which is what we are doing now. And we help brands build these branded environments within Minecraft as a way to reach the younger generation and communicate to them, because that audience that they want to reach aren't spending time on Instagram anymore, for example. They are spending these times within these games. So, which is why it's so interesting for the brands to build these experiences and activations, which is what we help them do right now as a way to market to them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very awesome story, especially since you started from a kid who really liked Minecraft and building all that to a freelance business, and now to senior studios where you work directly with like big brands and influencers, YouTubers. That is very cool. I really like that type of success story. I was going to ask you, so currently you are 21, is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're a Gen Z.
Yeah.
Perfect. Melvin, I was going to ask you, in terms of marketing, you as a Gen Zer, as a person who grew up playing Minecraft, who creates this like spawns for brands, how differently does Gen Z consume marketing?
I
Like
think,
what's the unique
yeah,
selling?
I think way that we are transitioning away from is that, yeah, for example, the rise of ad blockers becoming the norm and stuff like that. People don't want to be distracted. They want to genuinely have experiences and connect with the brand. So good brands that do this well are, for example, Nike. You sort of get a feeling when you see their brand. It's
Right.
not that you just get, yeah, here's Nike, buy our stuff. You
Right, right.
build like a genuine connection with the brand. And I think the platforms like Minecraft and Roblox are the perfect way to build that genuine and deep connection with your audience, which is why it's a perfect match for both the brands, but also for the players and the community, because they are very open to playing new games. And as long as the game is fun to them, they want to be in the experience. So it doesn't matter whether it is Nike who does the experience, or if it's just a solo developer who creates the Minecraft server. They just
Gotcha.
want to play fun games. Yeah. So that is why it works so well to create these types of activations and experiences.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah, I completely see what you're saying. On my personal view, when I was growing up in the 2000s playing video games, let's say I was playing a game and I was immersed in the experience, and then suddenly I saw like a Pepsi ad. Like that thing just took me out of the game completely. Uh, but I see that you're very successful with this. What makes it? What is the difference between putting like a Pepsi ad in like I don't know a video game versus creating an activation that's specifically for a brand in Minecraft? Like how has this evolved?
So the main thing is that by creating your own experience and your own branded experience, you can sort of control the environment. Building your own environment is really valuable to the brands because you
Mhm.
can control it and ensure that it aligns with your brand guidelines and stuff like that. But for the players, it's also much more fun because the brands come from a unique perspective where they have a lot of spending power compared to what normal smaller studios or smaller developers have, which means
Right.
that they can hire an expert such as our studio and just invest a lot of new features and innovate within the community, which creates these whole new unique experiences and new experiences that otherwise wouldn't be possible because other developers or studios wouldn't have the necessary resources to be able to invest so much in creating this unique experience.
When it comes to like working with big brands, which is something that I'm very interested in, because you made the transition from again building Minecraft spawns, having a freelance business, to then working, as you mentioned before, YouTubers like Mr. Beast, Sidemen, and such. How did you connect with such big brands? Was it LinkedIn? Was it like a word of mouth? How did you connect with them?
Yeah, so the main marketing from our side and marketing for our business have actually been through LinkedIn. So
Oh,
all deals have come from LinkedIn, which is also why I spend a lot of time on just producing content, producing valuable insights on LinkedIn, connecting with the right folks at the different companies, and connecting with agencies who in turn have those connections. Because that has been a big strategy that we have used. Because since we come from the gaming community, we don't necessarily have the direct connections with a lot of the brands that, for example, someone who comes from that uh, that industry has, and then creates a studio to do these activations. But we come from the gaming community, so we don't
right,
have the direct connections with these large Fortune 500 brands. So a
right,
strategy that we have used is to simply connect with the agencies because they have been more reachable in being more open in connecting with us and collaborating and seeing how they can utilize our services to provide value to their clients. So we have got a lot of briefs and potential collaborations through agencies that
right.
they, let's say that they talk with Nike. Nike sends over a project to that agency and says that we want to do something in Minecraft. Then that agency comes to us and says, yeah, we have
Gotcha.
got this brief from Nike. What can you do for us?
Gotcha. That's perfect. Melvin, when it comes to uh, using games as marketing, I used to work in marketing before, and we had a budget for like traditional media. We had a budget for social media as well. I've never heard of a brand, let's have a budget for Minecraft or for Roblox or for Fortnite. What do you think games have that makes it a unique medium versus social media or like traditional media?
Um, so one way I like to explain it, or give at least give the perspective of it, is that games are the future of the future influencer, because the games have the audience that, such as the way why influencer marketing is so successful and valuable to brands in their marketing campaigns is because they have the deep connections with their followers. But the same way the influencers do, these games and these server owners that create these servers or specific mini games within the game itself have those connections with the community. And so they have the power to the audience that they want to reach, which is why it's so valuable to partner with a game to create these experiences.
Gotcha, exactly. And of course, like the whole interactive thing that you don't have in social media, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a much more deeply engaging and meaningful way to connect your audience with your brand, because your audience isn't just watching a static content, a static image. You're actually experiencing the entire world, and that way connect on a much deeper level that you can't do on social media. And with social media, you can see like a sponsored content. The
Hmm.
user might watch it for 3 seconds, but in these games and in these branded worlds, they spend multiple minutes and hours playing these games and your branded world, which is much more valuable to these brands.
Gotcha. Do you make Oh, gotcha. Do you make the branding in the levels? Do you make it subtle? Do you make it super explicit? How do you ease it in the game is my question.
Yeah. Yeah, great question. Because that is a very big balance that you need to have, and something that we spend a lot of time on educating the brands on, because they might think that, yeah, just put as many ads as possible. We want
Mhm.
as many people, as many billboards and stuff like that to watch it. But what you really need to do is create an experience that is genuinely valuable and authentic to the community, because otherwise they won't spend any time in your experience at all, because they will just see that, yeah, this is just, you're just trying to sell me something. Uh, so when you create an experience, it's very important that you provide value and you take the perspective of creating added value to the player
Right.
experience. You can't just create something static and something that is, you can't create a branded showcase hub. For example, you need to create something that is genuinely fun and something that players want to be in, because that is also another thing that players choose to be in these experiences. So
Ooh. Ooh.
the difference between social media is that you don't choose to watch or see the ad, but in these games the players choose themselves to join these games and be a part of that whole experience, which is why it's so important to create something that is genuinely loved and enjoyed by these players.
Exactly. That's a huge when it comes to creating these experiences, and you have, a lot of experience in this topic. What would you say would be okay, what does success looks like in this, like for example, successful companies? What are some successful projects? What are the things that makes it successful? And what are some projects that fail in this regard?
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great question, because I actually got a perfect answer to it,
Let's
which
do
is
it.
an example project in Roblox actually, which is very similar to Minecraft. But Walmart released the first project that they released on Roblox was a map, or rather game, called Walmart Land, which was exactly that I explained before, which wasn't good. It was a branded hub. It had no utility or no value to the players. It was just a big ad, which meant that the players didn't appreciate Walmart coming into Roblox, and it did not get a lot of good ratings. But what the team at Walmart really did very well is that they measured the entire experience, what were people not liking, the ratings they received, and essentially created a whole new strategy where the second product they released was really amazing, because what they did for their second product and the second activation and experience they created was that they built out a full-on utility where players could use their experience as a way to improve their player experience within Roblox itself, because That project was called Walmart Discovered, which helped players find new and up and coming games and new and up and coming UGC items that were trending. So that entire experience provided the players with a lot of value that the first project they released didn't provide any value at all to them. So Walmart is a really good example on releasing something that wasn't good at all, but what they did was that because other brands I've seen have also released bad projects or have been unsuccessful, but they
Right,
haven't done anything they haven't tried it again, which is also a big mistake that some brands do. But
right,
what Walmart did was that they realized and analyzed the feedback that they had received on the first project and realized that, yeah, we can't just do a big map that is just an ad. We need to actually provide something to the players. We need to create an incentive for players to actually spend time in our experience. So the second project that they did release was really successful, and it's one of the innovators when it comes to brand experiences on Roblox. So they've done a really good job for that.
perfect. Yeah, especially like as you mentioned before, the company failed the first time, but instead of giving up, they gathered all that data, they improved, and they released a better experience. You
Yeah,
keep mentioning utility, utility. What do you mean by utility? Like, I understand that first they made a hub, just a branded hub that you can walk around. What is
yeah.
utility? Is it gameplay? Is it mini games? What is utility?
So utility can be many different things. It
Okay.
depends on what community and what audience you want to reach, and that is also one big thing that brands need to take into account when they create their experience. They need to evaluate what audience do I want to reach and
Mm.
what things do that audience like. So with Walmart Discovered, for example, what they saw they did a lot of research of the biggest problems that Roblox players had in general, and discovered that the discoverability within Roblox was really bad, which led them to creating this experience that helped Roblox players find new and fun games and
Okay.
new items to wear and stuff like that. But creating a utility where the experience is somewhat usable for the players and not
Okay.
just something that is just an ad. And
Gotcha.
that,
Gotcha. So when it comes to like KPIs, your KPIs would be basically like brand awareness, brand affinity.
yeah, that's right. And that is one thing worth noting as well, that the KPIs is somewhat similar to traditional media or social media.
Hmm.
So things like impressions and impressions is very similar. But one important metric to track in these branded environments is gameplay or playtime, because that is ultimately what leads to building these deep and genuine connections with the audience.
Gotcha. Like how much time they spend playing in the
Yeah,
level that you created. Gotcha. And you can measure all of that, right?
yeah. So with our Lego campaign, for example, we had over 10,000 hours by player spent within the experience.
That is pretty cool. Awesome. Yeah, I love hearing about that. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. So so the thing that makes it successful is instead of just making like an ad, like a passive ad, you make something with utility, something that players will enjoy. It's more of like you're putting intention behind making these builds.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great way of putting it, because you can't, and that is what I believe. Why I also believe that, yeah, this is the future of marketing.
Hmm.
Because as the attention span and stuff like that shrinkens with everyone, you kind of need people just subconsciously ignore ads that pop ups on TikTok, on Instagram.
Hmm.
They will just scroll past it
Hmm.
immediately. So you need to create something that is first of all genuinely fun or genuinely valuable to the players, so that players spend time in your experience. But you need to have these new mediums and these new touch points for audiences to interact with your brand, so that you still remain relevant to the new generation and the future of consumers.
Yeah, that's so important, right? That companies have like the ability to evolve throughout the years and engage with different audiences because people are in different places, right? You
Yeah,
may have millennials in Instagram, but a lot of Gen Zers and younger, like my nephews who are Gen Alpha, they're in Fortnite all the time, in
Yeah.
Roblox. So exactly. Perfect. Awesome. Melvin, so I know you have a lot of projects, a lot of awesome things that you want to show us. I would love to see what you have in store for us.
Yeah, for sure. Um, mm, there we go. Can you see everything?
Yes, perfectly.
Awesome. So first of all, I just want to showcase this Minecraft map to give a visual representation of what a Minecraft map sort of looks like and the gameplay strategies within it. So
Perfect.
let's watch this trailer. So this map is actually sort of inspired by Subway Surfers, where there is one
Mhm.
hunter and one person trying to run away from the hunter, and it has different abilities and different boosts and stuff like that that the player who is trying to escape can pick up. So that is one of our projects, and this specific project was actually done in collaboration with a YouTuber
Okay.
called Beck and so we essentially matched his audience and the content that his audience really liked, and built this experience to have his players enjoy it as well.
Awesome.
Now, another video I want to share is this map right here, which sort of showcases what you can create within Minecraft and what Minecraft looks like and what it feels like for different audiences and players.
Of course. Oh wow, so you can actually make like cinematics and such in Minecraft.
Yeah. Yeah, Minecraft Sandbox allows you to do pretty much anything, which is why Minecraft is so good because it's so flexible since it is an open world and a sandbox game, which means that your creativity is your only limit.
Exactly. Dude, those builds are insane. Insane.
Thank you.
Usually, how long does it take to create something like this, like a build of that magnitude?
Um, hmm. It really depends, but something that you can see in this video could possibly take somewhere around uh, 2 weeks to a month to
Mm,
create.
mm.
But in terms of creating full-on branded environments and branded experiences, we usually like to give ourselves 3 months to create
Okay.
an activation. But that also includes like the strategies and those things as well. But for the actual builds, it might take a month to create. Uh,
Okay.
I think we go into that as well.
Gotcha.
So these are essentially different ways that brands can activate in Minecraft, from creating a full-on own world to different live event or just creating a billboard within a popular Minecraft server. But as you touched on, our Opera GX experience right here was a server that we created for Opera and had different mini games. So this was the lobby that we created for them. It had the brand logo, and then we created multiple different mini games. So we had Bed Wars, Sky Wars, Murder Mystery, and Zombie Apocalypse. And these are different maps that we created for that server to have.
Right.
So yeah, fully unique server with different mini games to engage with the players.
Exactly. And that would be a perfect example of utility, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what Opera really wanted to do was to create a community
Hmm.
for their browser, because Opera GX browser is a very gaming focused browser.
Yes.
So they wanted to create a Minecraft server to establish a community for them, which was the utility for Opera GX and their users that were using Opera GX.
Gotcha. And I think I also saw a video of PewDiePie playing this specific map, right?
Yeah. So it actually comes down here.
There you
It
go.
wasn't this server specifically, but it was a separate map that was done for PewDiePie. It was a unique sort of ad interaction or a
Right.
custom ad read where a custom Minecraft themed Opera GX mansion was created. And then we implemented different unique features that sort of highlighted the features that Opera GX actually has. So one of the features that Opera has is that you can change the theme of your
Right.
browser. So we sort of showcased that by changing the theme in the game.
Oh,
So when PewDiePie clicks on this button, it it changes the environment around him to sort of convey that this feature
gotcha.
works.
That is very smart. That's very creative.
That is one way of also activating. So if we check out, here's another project that we did for Twitch Rivals, for example. So it's a fully custom sci-fi map. So you can really create anything within Minecraft, which is why it's so exciting. That I believe it's so exciting and fun for me.
I love it. Gotcha.
But
So
yeah, there are.
do you mainly work with Minecraft or do you use like Roblox as well, Fortnite, or is it mainly Minecraft?
So it's actually been Minecraft that we have stuck around for since we have been in the space for over 6.5 years. We
Okay.
have sort of stayed here and established ourselves as the go-to expert when it comes to Minecraft activations.
Gotcha.
Now, one negative part from that is in terms of our business scale is that Minecraft is smaller than Roblox. So Minecraft, although
Oh,
it's Minecraft, it's huge. Minecraft has got over 170 monthly million users. Roblox have, however, got 300 million monthly active users.
gotcha.
So the as this whole thing is very new to brands, most of the brands have opted to creating their experiences within Roblox first before
Gotcha.
they try out Minecraft, because Roblox is the first thing that comes to mind because it's bigger than Minecraft at the moment.
Right. Right.
But yeah, we have stuck around for Minecraft and creating these experiences.
Gotcha. Okay, that's perfect. And dude, this is perfect. I really love this. Yeah, this is definitely the future of marketing. I can definitely see newer generations spending time in these branded worlds for sure. I was gonna ask you how does your process looks like from, let's say, from getting like a client to developing a branded world for them to a release. How does that whole process looks like?
Yeah. Uh, Let me just. So the initial process is that either the brand directly contact us or an agency contacts us and
Okay.
says that, hey, we have got this product. What can you do? But most of the time, it's actually just an introductory call that we have with the client. So, as I said, I do a lot of content on LinkedIn and also YouTube to sort
Yes.
of push this narrative of this new opportunity of new future of marketing, essentially. So most of the time, someone messaged me on LinkedIn saying that, yeah, this sounds really interesting. Could we jump on a call and learn more? So that is the first thing we do. And in that call, we just explain that, yeah, this is Minecraft. This is what it can do. This is what Minecraft looks like, and also explain our capabilities, what we can offer and provide the different brands or agencies. But after that, it usually is that the brand or agency gets back to us and says that, hey, we have got this product, we want to do this, these are our objectives, and this is our budget. Or they just say that, yeah, these are our objectives, what is your proposal? But when they do that, we send back and we usually have our team create a game concept based on the objectives that we received from the brand, and create and just getting back, retracting on that, just aligning the brand with the community that they want to reach, because we have that understanding of what does this type of audience enjoy? What type of gameplay do they want? How can we engage with them in the best way possible? So that we have our expert teams create these different concepts, whether that be a specific type of gameplay, a different type of minigame, or different type of utility that we create. We have that our team create that, put that into a document, and then send that over along with our proposal to the client. And then they say, yeah, most of the time they actually just say, yeah, this sounds good. You are the experts. We trust you.
Oh
So
wow.
we so we just have to provide them with the details and everything, and they just say, yeah, go ahead, as long as the budget is approved and stuff like that. But then we get started, create development, send regular updates, get that feedback. Most of the feedback that we receive from the brand are things just that they want us to follow brand guidelines, because as the brands we work with, they are very strict in terms of how their brand is perceived and how they want to position their brand. So most of the feedback that we get is not on the gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, but on how we sort of design and how we integrate the brand, because that is really important to these clients. But once we feel like we have finished the development, it might take 3 months to create. We go ahead and get approval, everything from the brand, get approval from Microsoft to do this activation, because that is one thing you need to do with Minecraft, is to get official approval from them that, we have got this brand who wants to advertise within the game. Are we good to do it? And they often just say, yeah, this is good, because that is also one thing that we understand what types of brands that are aligned with Minecraft. And most of the time, the brands that come to us asking to do something in Minecraft are friendly brands to already, pretty much.
Exactly.
But then we launch, and we often launch it together with a marketing strategy, because we are a full service agency. So we provide marketing services, whether that be having influencer promote the event, integrating it within a popular service.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a very concise, very data-driven strategy. Where did you learn your marketing chops?
I've actually just come from my own trial and error, pretty much. But I also
Right.
spend a lot of time watching YouTube workshops. So that is one thing I've been doing for probably over a year, just having 1 hour each day where I watch YouTube workshops. And it
Mhm.
could be on any topic, anything from sales, anything from marketing, leadership skills, mindset, or anything else money related things. I just try to educate myself every day, and put aside time in my calendar to actually do that, because
Exactly.
many people have, if you speak to other many entrepreneurs, what they might say is that they watch a lot of workshop and they want to educate themselves and stuff like that, but they don't really put it into your calendar, which means that it doesn't happen consistently. uh, but another big aspect of my educational workshops and my sessions in that regard is that I take notes during it,
Hmm.
and I then every Saturday go through all of the notes that I've taken throughout the week of the sessions that I've had, and then turn those notes into actionable steps, because that is another big thing that a lot of people can say that they watch educational stuff and education workshop, but if they
Right.
don't put any actionable steps from them, they aren't really spending that time wisely, and they're just wasting their time by watching the educational videos, because they aren't implementing into their business and stuff like that. So that is another big thing that I do, and just make sure that the time that I spend watching these educational workshops, I actually implement into my business and learn from them. But a lot of trial and error I have teach myself as well.
Exactly. So basically, the desire to learn and the internet.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
has been your school. I love it. I love it. Yeah, because that's what we want to do with the FLAMA podcast. Kind of like help people enter, thrive, and navigate the gaming industry. Just, hey, here's the information. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and that
huge.
is why it's also to point out, highlight that as well. The internet has so much valuable stuff,
Yeah.
uh, so you don't necessarily need a lot of information experience prior to getting started within the gaming industry. You can learn a lot from just watching internet, watching other people, and just from trial and error and learning yourself. Because when I started my platform, I knew nothing about leadership. I knew nothing about sales, nothing about marketing.
Hmm.
I knew nothing. I was just 14 years old. So what can you expect? But I learned along the way and faced a lot of mistakes, a lot of hurdles and stuff like that. But as long as you learn and take the next step, you will ultimately grow.
Exactly. Life is the best teacher, right? Just life,
Yeah, yeah,
trial and error.
absolutely.
Awesome, Melvin. My last question for today is, what is your hope for the future in regards the future of marketing? What are your hopes? Your subjective hopes.
I think, yeah, I strongly believe that what we are doing with brands are the future of marketing and the future of brand communication. So I think, yeah, the main brands that have sort of done these types of activation have been the Fortune 500 companies. And the reason why they have done it first is because they have a dedicated budget for experiential marketing. So doing and testing out different new innovative marketing strategies, which this type of activation and marketing is. It's very new. There isn't a lot of data. So these brands are very cautious and just testing the waters, stuff like that. But as more brands start to do this experiences and marketing campaigns, the more data we will get, the more data the general community and industry will get, and the more trust smaller brands and smaller companies will also get and understand that, yeah, this actually works, which will ultimately lead to this type of marketing activation growing. So the same way that influencer marketing might have been skeptical at first, like what can these influencers actually say and do that will lead to sales into my business? I think we will see a similar transition, and where more and more brands will just naturally come into the space because they have seen that it actually works. So that's, I believe that is the future of this space. Just more and more will come into it.
Exactly. So the early adopters would always be the companies that have money, extra capital to experiment, and then the smaller ones will come
Yeah,
later. Awesome. So gaming is the new frontier, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Really exciting stuff.
All right, Melvin. Where can people find you for contact, connecting with you? Maybe a potential client wants to talk to you. What is the best way to find you?
The best way would actually be to connect with me on LinkedIn, which is my name, Melvin Hedlund. Just connect with me on there, send me a message, and we will get that conversation rolling.
Awesome, perfect. And yeah, guys, basically this episode happened exactly through that method. I was on LinkedIn. I saw Melvin's post. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I saw his website and I just sent him a quick DM and we just made it happen.
It's amazing.
Exactly, Melvin. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. You have taught us so much, and I truly believe that the future belongs to people like you, people who are go-getters, who they don't put excuses. You want education, you have YouTube, you have the will to do it, and you just do it. And it was awesome to have you on the show to teach us all these things, and I hope we can collaborate in the future as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, my pleasure.